There are a boatload of crazy characters in anime, but even among those, there is a group that really stands out. The true psychos, the Nuxtakus. These characters are batshit insane. They each have scenes that make you question what the hell you are even watching, and they all stand out as being some of the most memorable things in their respective shows. Today, we are going to be covering some of my personal favorite psychos in anime, from the brutal to the downright insane. If I miss anyone that you guys want me to include in a part 2, be sure to comment it down below. Or if you want me to go over any other tropes or character archetypes, also let me know. With that out of the way, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to turn on those notifications to catch the next episode. But on that note, let's jump into my first pick. When I think of true psychos, my mind always jumps to Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter. This dude is the definition of crazy. First off, the man is a clown, definitely a pretty solid start to show that there's a bit of a circus going on in his head. Hisoka is an absolute force of chaos in Hunter x Hunter. He is always kind of lurking in the background and is a constant threat. The thing is, a big part of what makes Hisoka so impactful as a character is that he is unpredictable. He will do just about anything if he can fight a strong opponent. And that leads him to being a villain in some arcs and a friend to the protagonists seemingly at random. He will align himself with whoever he needs in order to get ahead, and when you throw that mentality on someone who is insanely powerful, it just makes him such an interesting force in the series. Oh, and we won't go too far into it. I mean, it's hardly even a big thing, but he does get fully turned on when he fights someone strong, even if they are a 10-year-old boy. But that seems like a good spot to jump into the next character. You know Hisoka might be a little aggressive, so let's talk about someone who is all about love. Himiko Toga from My Hero Academia is just about your average girl who loves to love. And she doesn't discriminate, boy, girl, friend, enemy, frog, it doesn't matter. Toga will love you no matter what or who you are, as long as you are passionate and honest. Now, there is one small detail I've kind of been dancing around here. So Toga's idea of love is all about being close to someone. You know, getting to know the person, being great friends, drinking their blood, becoming a human skin suit made by her quirk, trying to live her life as that person. The usual. Toga becomes obsessed with people and thinks the best way to show her love for them is to become them. She's said that she sees drinking blood in the same way that most people see kissing, and that her ideal lover is a guy who is tattered and reeking of blood. Throw in a love for cutting people, an almost always smiling face, and some insanely violent tendencies, and some massive mood swings, and you have yourself a pretty great psychopath. Next, Nutcase. Another whammon, Junko from Danganropa. Some people have it all, and some people who have it all decide to dress up in a two-toned bear costume, lock themselves and a bunch of other people in a school, and set up a game where the only way to escape is by murdering the other students without being caught. And if you couldn't tell, one of these people is Junko. Danganropa is this insane show with super high stakes. It's a really awesome thriller where no one knows who the true villain is and everyone suspects everyone else, and Junko is the one who sets it all up. A crazy game for an even crazier whammon. Alright, the last two might have been waifu material, but let's move on to the most attractive psycho on the list, Goose from ReZero. This bowl-cut boy is the Sin Archbishop representing sloth. He loves to hurt himself by twisting his body in weird ways. Originally, Goose was a pretty chill dude, however he was forced to kill one of his close friends and went insane as a result. Also, now he's green. But what makes Goose so interesting is his power of sloth. This lets him send out a black wave that makes others hallucinate, foam from their mouth, and go insane. And when it comes to insanity, sharing is caring. Next up, we have a real family man, Shou Tucker from Furumeteru Akumesto Brotherhood. We only do the proper pronunciation here at All Day Anime. They say the only good judge of a man's character is a dog, and dogs seem to just keep showing up around Shou Tucker, so obviously he's a great dude. Okay, so there is a little more to the story. Tucker was a state alchemist who was going to lose his funding if he couldn't come up with something amazing to show off as a result of his research. He decided he would need to make a talking creature that was made from alchemy, a chimera, which is the combination of more than one animal. So naturally, he asked his wife to lend a hand. Well, I guess a little more than a hand. He ended up using her body in the transmutation and turned her into a chimera. Years later, he would have to show that there was even more progress. This time, he would use his daughter, Nina, and their dog, Alexander. You might be tired of hearing about this guy at this point, but there is a reason he comes up so often. This is easily one of the most psychopathic scenes in anime history. It's simple, it's quick, and it's absolutely chilling. Our final whammon of the video is going to be Nui Harime from Kill la Kill. Now, actually, I haven't seen Kill la Kill, but I've been recommended to include this character in this video, so I'm gonna let my good friend Axel, who also happens to edit a lot of the videos on this channel, take it away.
In this world where clothes give superpowers, Nui was born by mixing human and clothing DNA. I'm not saying it makes sense at all, but I am saying that this character is absolutely bonkers. I know anime kind of lets people stretch the rules on what they're able to survive, but Nui is basically a Looney Tune character. She's nearly indestructible, can make copies of herself, she can stretch and pull her body any way she wants, and she kind of feels like she's in the wrong universe. And I think that her brain seems to agree. She's absolutely psychotic and psychopathic. She won't follow anyone's orders except her own, and is willing to do whatever she needs to have a good time. She would be what you'd get if you mixed Hisoka and Bugs Bunny and then wrapped that into a lolly. And then you gave that lolly to an abusive parent. She's chaotic, powerful, a little bit sad, and absolutely insane.
Thanks, Axel. Very cool. Finally, we come to my go-to psychopath, Juuzou Suzuya from Tokyo Ghoul. This dude grew up with a sort of adopted mother. She was a ghoul who treated him like a slave. She tortured, mutilated, and beat him in every way. She would dress him as a girl because she thought he was so pretty, then castrate him to make him even prettier. It's intense, and all this ended up being a massive mental stress for Juuzou, and they sort of snapped. Once he was finally freed, he basically made it his mission to get revenge, torturing and killing ghouls in the most brutal and savage ways possible. Juuzou's own life means next to nothing to him, and he will do whatever it takes if it means he can kill a ghoul. I still remember the first few times I saw this guy and thought how small and tiny he looked, but then we see him fight and it's almost gross. There is just so much anger and brutality in how he fights that it just kind of stops you when you're watching. There are a ton of psychopaths in anime, but I think Juuzou is one of the best examples. He's another one of those outwardly happy characters, but the level of tragedy and anger that come from him are just unbelievable. And there you have it. Psychopaths can make some of the most interesting characters in anime. They are often pretty deep and layered, with tragic backstories that can make you feel sympathetic towards them. But in other cases, they can just be pure forces of chaos. Whatever their role is, they are some of my favorite characters in whatever series I am watching because they play with the dynamic in a way that no sane character could. For example, when Hisoka is on screen, you get this eerie feeling where you don't know what he's going to do. He can turn at literally any moment and kill or betray anyone. And even when you compare him to someone like Meruem, you just don't get that. You know Meruem is going to act in a calm and calculated way. You know he is powerful, but there are things that he could do that wouldn't feel in line with his character. He wouldn't play volleyball with Gon. He wouldn't stop Gon from entering the upper levels of the Heavens Arena until he was ready. And he wouldn't pretend to be on someone's team. Meruem is a great character, but he could never have the effect on the series that Hisoka has. Well, what do you guys think? Who are your favorite psychopaths, and would you like to see me talk about more of them in my next video? I just realized I forgot to include Yuno Gasai, so that's definitely gonna have to be included in the next one. Maybe next time I'll include Nuxie Boy as an entry, because after all, he is a mad lad. I think this could be a pretty fun series, and I'd love to get you guys involved. If you guys enjoyed this one, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more anime content. And if you want to see more from me, check out my Twitch at twitch.tv/beastlybriggs, where I do a bunch of gaming content. I try to stream 3 to 4 times a week. I'm honestly way more active on Twitch than I am on YouTube at this point. Or if you want, you can follow my podcast channel, twitch.tv/rankfa, where Nux Talk, Animac, and I talk about anime once a week. It's also posted on YouTube. Everything will be linked down below. Finally, if you want to support this channel a little more, you can check out my Patreon to support me directly. With that said, I want to give a huge thank you to my $1 tier on Patreon. Thank you to the Anime Dude, Starry Nick, Beck, Siren, Elf Queen Mab, Naze Mazer, Sebastian, I Cry During Sex, RTL Faith, Igloo 4, Todoroki is a better character than Saitama, keeps on changing your name, I see you, Brandon Whiteman, a thank you to my $2 tier, Alpha Dio, the one and only, a thank you to my $5 tier, Mick Manga, Nothing But a Fan, King Osloth, Maggie, Joel Godinez, Michelle Moria, And I want to also thank my members on YouTube super quick, since it's $5 as well. A huge thank you to Too Spooky and Kaido Might Be a Dragon. Great name. I want to thank my $10 tier on Patreon. At this point, you not only get a shout out, but you also get priority to play with me live on Twitch in party games. A thank you to Chuya Nakahara, John Bruno, Cricket XP, Jay Kasumi, Shelly, Ginkgo Taku, and of course, I want to give a huge, gigantic, insane thank you to my $25 tier. You guys are mad lads. Steelers, Rusty Lee, Tyson Queerino, and my highest current patron, Some Guy 9393. Thank you so much, everybody. It really does make a difference supporting me on Patreon. It helps me work towards doing YouTube into a full-time gig. And ideally, I could use some of this money to hire editors. I edited this video myself, but if I want to pump up more uploads, editors will make that a lot easier and help me out a lot. But anyway, at this point, I'm just rambling. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and just like that, I will see you guys all next time, dudes. Shinpaku.